Hi, hello, and welcome to the 1111 Divine Lovers series. What? Oop, eep, up, oh, oh, excuse me. It's the Revolving Door series brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the karmic side of the soulmate twin flame union. This will be where we're purging energies, purging cycles, and maybe even purging the mate, ending the contract, wrapping up the karmic aspect of the cycle. And I apologize for saying 1111 because that's tomorrow, and I'm rushing to record this video before the gate closes because there's a certain time to record it, and we're at the 11th hour here. So why don't we go ahead and begin? If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. It's a delight and an honor and a privilege to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the pleasure to do so. If you're new, welcome. You belong to welcome home. And if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. From US Game Systems, we will be imposing the guidance from the Thoth Tarot. That's by Aleister Crowley and Lady Frida Harris. Okay. And we're going to do an 11 by 11. Well, we're going to do an 11 position spread. It's 11 position. I'm disoriented here. Let me gain my bearings. Something about somebody wanting a girlfriend, I'm getting that's coming through. I'm also hearing, could you believe we put a man on the moon? Man on the moon. There's also somebody here who is on the masculine side, and they're moving into maturity, awakening, alignment. Now, when I say masculine, it can be identified, it can be assigned. It doesn't matter about your actual physical gender. If you're on the masculine side, you're more in the action oriented and progressive. If you're on the feminine side, you're more in the receptive, the creativity, and the nurturing. It doesn't mean that it's absolute either. That's a misnomer. And I'm getting distracted here. So, yeah, doing what you're doing just to get to where you're going, and I see you, baby. Ain't nobody else really gonna have much to say, but I do. Yeah, so it's kind of like I knew you then, I knew you when, and who are you today? What are you today? You're on something. You're doing the most, really. Because you're doing what you're doing just to get to where you started. Yeah, okay. So somebody's out of alignment, and it's seen, and this is the karmic cycle. So we'll see what this means here. Okay. So this could be a short reading or a long reading. We have to go until we have the High Priestess and oh, actually, no, it's not how this reading works. Okay, hold on. We have to go until we get all four of the connections. So the Emperor, the Empress, the Lovers, and the Temperance. the Hierophant and the Tower, and right off the bat, we get the Devil. So that's karma here. But the next is the Hangman. So it does get healed, or it's starting to heal. And see, we're coming into the cycle with the Four of Swords, Page of Pentacles. But there's been Three of Swords, some type of wounding. And essentially what that means is that we're either in a quarantine or cordoned off, or we're resuscitating, or we're concussed in some kind of way. We're being prepared for some type of journey to learn a practical skill, or we're being prepared to receive a material blessing. Because where we're going is, in fact, installing this blessing upon the earth. We manifest it. It could be institution or legacy, whether it's a corporation, a business, or some type of family, estate. And this concussed, this resuscitation, this needing to heal from a wound is because we have this what's called unconditional love, and that may or may not have been taken advantage of. Clarifying that would be the Hierophant. So God uses obligations, or we could have the divine love of the Creator. We could be giving, because the kings give, the queens receive. It means grand external commitment. Here, the king, according to the suit. So grand external commitment of authenticity, genuineness, sincerity is the cups. It's your authentic self, true nature. So with the Hierophant, that's the sacred office, God duties, obligations, or some type of oath of office, or some type of oath in terms of an agreement. Policy, procedure, protocols, going by the book, status quo, etc. Ad nauseam and infinitum. Okay, so yeah, because you're doing what you're doing just to get to where you're going, and I see you, baby. Yeah, I'm really off key today. It's fine. It's midday, but I actually want to take a nap. So it's a little bit more hard to understand here. I know we have the Ten of Wands. Like I said, we're starting from this being prepared to go on this journey to receive some type of practical skill or material blessing. But the sacrifice to make here is this Ten of Wands. So we have to set something down, because we need to have some decisiveness here. And the obstacle or crossing or challenge or conundrum is driving life forward according to drives, desires, passions, motivations, heart's ambitions, soul's desire. So we need to expand according to like our joie de vivre, our joy, our love, our vision. And there's some triangulation here. So there may be a wound, or there may be extenuating circumstances, terms and conditions. There's some particulars on how to progress or proceed, or there not going to be a progression. And there might be some little taboo here. Three of Swords and the Devil means that part of it might be that there was a collapse or a pause or a reconsideration or some type of impasse right now. Four of Swords, that things aren't progressing because something needs to be spoken that's a little bit unspeakable. Somebody might have a blemish in their history that can change the dynamic, or there may be a need that once shared, the vulnerability could be exposed in a way where, like, listen, I'm about to open up my kimono, I'm about to put my cards on the table, and you may get up from the table, and that's your right. And unfortunately, we're not going to go much further without this happening. And that's also my crucible here. I have to bear this burden. I have to carry this cross, and I'm about to tell you the particulars of said cross, how I gain the burden, how it is that I come to carry it today, and what that means for me and for us going forward. And you're within your right to exercise caution or discretion to leave. That's what I'm getting. We already have 2 nights. Vertex of Abundance is the Galactic Temple of Ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. From Ripe Avocado, we will be deliberating the findings for any type of pairings, which is like numerological, like a pair of this, a triple that, a set of this, some multiples. We will be deliberating the findings for any type of multiple through the minor arcana of the Cosmic Coven Tarot. And that's by Lillian Lazenby, again brought to us today by Ripe Avocado. We have a double night here. When there's a pair of nights, there's a convergence. So there needs to be a meeting of the mind, and there will be some type of really commitment of love long term. We have the Knight of Wands. So we need to come back together and share something. Because part of the karma here is fear or wounding. And there's an open trauma, a festering wound. Three of Swords means there's still pain present actively. Four of Swords is the how we start the situation so it comes back up. Or the thing that's the recent past that we're still dealing with is that, hey, there's a wound here. Yeah, finally you put my love on top. Baby, baby, I can see the sun whenever you're near. So 9 of Cups, this other side is gonna feel chosen, like content. It might as well be the 10 of Cups with the 10 of Pentacles here. So contentment is the 9 of Cups. Fulfillment is the 10 of Cups. So right now is a little bit splicey dicey. There's, Perry thoughts and periwinkle, blue medallion, gilded galleon filled across the ocean floor. On a promise to be free, mermaids swim in colonies. Yeah, so there's a reconciliation on the precipice. However, we do need to come to an arrangement, an agreement, and secure a position, a foundation. There needs to be some kind of illumination, enlightenment, because I think we're a little bit too rigid. We're a little bit too cards close to the chest, and that's what's up. So there's a burden for this other side. They may be going through some kind of karmic thing, or they may have a flame alive in them, and there's a whole process to maintain and manage that, which they do with the Knight of Wands. This could be a couple things. Somebody could be kinky, and it's not a kink, it's a fetish. What's the difference between a kink and a fetish, priestess? Why are we talking about Lacesso here? Well, a kink is like a little spice that you add to the dish, and a fetish is the main ingredient. Okay, let me tell it to you like that. So this is a fetish with the Three of Swords, the Devil. That means there's a taboo here, and Ten of Wands and the Tower. Okay, I know what that's about. Confirmed by the Knight of Swords. Okay, well, just talk about it, really, because it seems to be going great here, and it might seem like it's nullifying a lot of these energies. I'll honestly take this Three of Swords with the Devil. It negates it. The only time it doesn't is with the Seven of Swords is present, and it's not. So we got to deal with the devil that we know kind of situation with the Hangman and the devil card present. So, you know, this devil is clarifying that this is a contentment situation. We have the Ten of Cups, and I was just talking about it. So this could actually go really well, but we need to prepare to learn something or to receive some type of benefit. And there is some type of massive action to take. Because there's a different perspective right now, which only right now we have perception. So some cards need to be put out on the table or something like that because, otherwise we run the risk of loss. I don't know what that Ten of Wands with the Tower was, so let's talk about it just for a quick second. From Los Garabeo, we will be deliberating the findings for any type of correlative or combinatory energy. And this is the Vida Sibila by the Vida Sibila Daily Oracle, again by Los Garabeo. There is something that needs to be handled in secret. It could be a shared secret. There's something very precious. I'm hearing somebody here likes whips and chains or bondage, BDSM. Let's leave it there and move on. It stands for bondage, domination, sadomasochism, or slave master. Let's leave that alone. Riki diki tweaky kinky. Not sneaky, but riki diki tweaky kinky, not riki diki sneaky tweaky. Okay, so there's something here very precious. And it's at this point where somebody wants to try it, it's alive in them, it's deeply enmeshed, it's deeply enshrined, and they've done something about it to grow it. So they might not have embarked on that journey because we have Giovanni Fanciulla, that's the virgin, meaning there's a lack of experience, but they've done la conversazione, meaning they've gone to the web and read about it for days or weeks or months or years. They've talked about it, they found a community, something of that nature. And maybe it's not the kinky thing. Maybe it's that they have a trauma and they're a survivor, and this is their first time after their healing phase, after their awakening phase, that they're about to embark on an intimate union or connection. It doesn't have to be what I was seeing, but whatever it is, it does create the need for terms and conditions. There needs to be assent and consent here, period. Otherwise, it steps out of alignment with the law, whether it's karma, universal law, or whether it's law, peace and order, meaning human law. Whether you're going to end up in hell or in court or jail, you need to talk about it with your partner. So we have the Ten of Cups moving into the Four of Cups. Basically, what we're doing is going to take massive action to something that's already sitting at the threshold, Four of Cups. Yes, it can mean a detachment, but it doesn't feel here that anybody is feeling detached because there's no coinciding, and there's not a rejection here because there's not an offer. So this means something's been manifested, something's at the threshold. So what is this Emperor with the Four of Cups mean? Because they're both the number 4. Yeah, it's about time to speak up on something, and we're in this desperado. So either we don't know what's taking the hold up because this other person might not be being serious. And to be honest, they're doing the quiet ask, or we're the one with this thing that we need to share, put out on the table because there's 3 of Swords is on our side, but it would be because it's a feminine card. The Swords and Cups are feminine, and a lot of people think, oh, but air is masculine. You can see the flame and you can see a pentacle. So that's why I consider them masculine, because we can perceive them with the naked eye. That's the system that I'm using here. There are other systems. That's not the system that I'm using. Yeah, so there is definite affection here, but something needs to come out into the open because it's causing some, there needs to be a disclosure. So I'm hearing a narrative. I'm hearing somebody say you check all my boxes. So we also have this emperor with the Knight of Wands, so that could be Mars in Aries, Mars in that first house, or an Aries rising. Usually that's an Aries rising. We also have the King of Wands with the Emperor. Usually that's an Aries sun, or to a lesser degree, Aries midheaven, which would talk about a Cancer rising. On a promise to. Okay, so somebody wants to be free. So there's been delays, melancholia. There's been delays, blockages, setbacks, and it's because there's a portal that's approaching. The thing about this portal is that the other person that we're connected to is very clearly looking at this thing that can collapse, or it could be the thing to solve everything. So the thing with the disgrazia, it could be either a collapse of everything or the thing that saves you from collapse. And these two things together, this is it is a bane of contention, but if it's acceptable, it's actually the point of great pleasure. We also have the Ten of Wands here with the Ten of Cups. We have a pair of 10, which is a cycle completing. And again, contentment is on the other person's side. And we're sitting here with all these feelings. So we might need to speak up about something. It could be anything from, hey, honey, I'm a freak in the sheets. I really like it raunchy. Excuse my language, but it could be that. Or it could be like, hey, I'm married to God and we can't even live together until we're married, let alone have sex. Or it could be, hey, I'm a bruja. You need to know this before we get into an intimate relationship. Or hey, my dad, my dad's a criminal or runs a racket, or, hey, my brother's this famous person. It's something that we try not to share up until we have to. You know what I mean? Any of that, any of that. Um, because it's going to be a long time in coming, but when it happens, it's going to do the thing. I'm hearing the song, hey, I just met you, but this is crazy. Now here's my number. I don't know who that is, but and I don't know the lyrics to that song, but it's coming through. I think it goes, I want you so bad. I want you so, so bad. Yeah, so Seven of Pentacles. We got to plant some seeds, reap what we sow, yield what we invest, kind of deal. Knight of Cups on our side, Ace of Wands on the other side. So we're afraid to do something that actually is the single thing that we need to do. And here's my motto, and this is easier said than done. The thing that you're afraid of the most is actually the thing you need to do to continue down the path. Because there will be an ego death. So there could be a change in the masculine, meaning it's a new boo, it's a new baby daddy, it's a new boss, it's a new manager, or it could mean that we go from this one to another one because they walk away. But it's not, it's better to know than to not know. So the Emperor came out. We're waiting on the Empress and yeah, this is going to be the whole reading. Okay. I'm sorry, I keep falling into narratives and it's telling me that there's a strong connection here. Something's coming forward, and what it is intellect, reason, communication, or skill, craft, technique. With the magician, it also could mean that there needs to be a dialogue communication, and there could be some very wise and enlightened communication here. So this other side might be very open to whatever we need to say, and we might need to go deep with them. They might have a very, what's called vertical knowledge. So they're very superficial, surface level. It's not a negative connotation in this circumstance. And then we have a very vertical orientation, which means we can specialize, we can go very deep. They might generalize. They might be able to know a little bit about a lot, and we know a lot about maybe one or two different things. Okay, this is the specialist. The Hermit card is also considered the specialist. So, you know, as we get into this energy, if the truth comes out, the groundwork is laid, and actually what that's going to do is create the road to usher in more. And whatever seeds get planted are going to trigger these terms and conditions, but actually positively, because then we're going to be able to move forward with the clarity that we've been needing. This is an opportunity to be seized. And I think it's the other, if we're on the feminine energy, we need to be let know that. And for the masculine, they keep coming back or coming around because there's some kind of feeling, or they're checking the tempo or whatever. And there's a missing piece of information that gives this, I hate to use this word, but the green light. Because there's a new teaching, but there's also like a new skill or conversation or shared understanding. Now, we could be dealing with Sun in Aries. Somebody might have their Sun in Aries. Something is going to be suspended pretty soon because there is a wound. With the full card coming out on this side and the Three of Swords, that does also suggest that, hey, we have a couple more goes and then something's going to get suspended, because what we don't realize is somebody is actually trying to make moves or trying to incite something, positive or negative. We don't know. It's underhanded all the same. It doesn't mean backhanded, because there's love here with the Fidelta, and in the Stabila we have Fidelta here, but there's this energy of something growing, getting to maturity, of finally being time. And for whatever reason, things aren't exactly moving as they should, which was some kind of promise. There was a little bit of shadiness or competition, or something here is covert. Because there's a karmic lesson and there's a karmic cycle here that could be alleviated really quickly. But what's required is that forbearance. Clearly, there's human enactment, and we've been suspending this action. Five of Wands with the Strength card is forbearance. Somebody could also have their Saturn in the sign of Libra or in the 5th house. And we were talking about a Scorpio rising before, so that would be Saturn in the 10th house. But that's what I'm getting. No, I didn't pull on that double three that we had before. So we're in our strength. This other side has really chosen the life that they want, but they might not have manifested it yet. But that means that they're clear on what they want, and we might not be presenting in the way to let them know that their wishes and dreams have manifested. because this is actually a coming together, but we might run the risk of missing it because that hasn't been communicated. I think we both want the other one, but there's a lack of speaking about it, and so it might not happen. Now, the lack of speaking might be out of fear, might be out of la-di-da, yada-yada, we don't know yet. But we might be tricking ourselves up out of our spot because of procrastination or just a failure to act. This is what we call unclaimed attraction or unclaimed union or something like that. Because now we have the Temperance card with this Ten of Wands. So this is something that could be transmuted. Whatever this cycle, and it's love. It's love here. So in this context, the Temperance card means twin flame union, only because of the context of the reading. Normally, it would come up with the Four of Wands if it was a real twin flame union, but there's something secret and hidden that's very precious, and we both want it, but we don't know it because we're trying to avoid some type of shame or ridicule. And it's the type that comes from the Three of Swords. So that's a dispersal or a rupture. You could build a life of love, and then one truth comes out and it eradicates everything always and forever. But anything you lose by being honest, you never really lose. That you just filtered it out. So we need to make a decisive move here to master or overcome this karmic cycle. Five of Wands is the karmic lesson, Ten of Wands is the karmic cycle, because we could actually win. Six of Wands, we could be exalted, esteemed here. We also have a pair of fives on the board. So two fives in a reading typically talk about some type of debilitation or decline, destabilization, debilitation even. It's a loss. I will be right back, my dear. Okay, we're back. Mama needed a beverage, and beverage, and it's prebiotic soda. It's like a healthy soda, and it's ginger lemon, ginger lime. We used to do that all the time on tea time and Priestess Gorgeous. We would kiki over the drink. Okay, so here's what I'm getting thus far. We have something on the precipice of coming together or losing it. And the devil coming out so quickly, right up back to back with the hangman means stuck in a hard place. The devil that you know. It's easier to have a quiet longing and an unclaimed desire than it is to come out and to come into the open with our desire and be rejected, denied, ridiculed, whatever. Excuse me. And the devil can mean fear, ignorance, illusion, or falsities. Yes, it can mean toxicity, negativity, bondage. But with the Three of Swords, if there's bondage, it's a good kind. The taboo, kinky kind. You hear what I'm saying? And I haven't seen the things I need to see. The Eight of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Wands with the devil would tell me who's the B, who's the D, who's the S, who's the M. It hasn't said any of that yet. It's just said like there's some really deep taboo here, and it's actually consensual, but we're in this place of fear. Now, it might not be that, it doesn't have to be taboo, but it is something deep. It might be a secret. Sometimes it's nothing about the bedroom. Sometimes it's like, hey, I actually, am secretly a billionaire, or hey, I'm married to this famous celebrity, or hey, my father, he's a former mob boss, and he's been in jail for the last 20 years. Or hey, my older brother, he's a registered offender. It could be any of those things, okay? Um, But when the devil and the three of swords come out together, it means it's okay, but you need to talk about it and have a shared agreement. Or, okay, it's a no. So we have a pair of fives here. To me, this five means destabilization. Please no. Okay, yeah. So five of cups, three of swords. There's going to be some mourning because there is a broken heart and an open wound, and two of pentacles, seven of wands. So there's been tears shed already, but now it's time to protect this connection, to fight for it, to attend to it. Queen of cups, page of wands. So there needs to be an expression of desire because the other person will receive it quite well. And what we don't know, what's been obscured, seven of cups, is that there's a nine of cups, some type of mutual alignment or attunement, and that's the truth. We have a very viable opportunidad here. However, we are going to need to do a little bit of the groundwork, us, the one watching, because this other side, they're haunted. It's not a sweet dream. It's a sweet dream, but it ain't no beautiful nightmare. It's haunting. Okay, they need to wake up. Now we could have a Sagittarius rising here as well. We could also have Saturn in Sagittarius. So if it's a Sagittarius rising, Saturn would be in the first house. And we got to pop on that. Saturn in the first house. So the there's the truth is already here. That there's some affection and it's mutual, and we need to do something very secret behind closed doors, or we need to have some type of intimate knowledge of each other. This could be a secret, doesn't need to be. But La Facita also could be something taboo or racket or criminal enterprise. Forbearance here. So something is not as bad as it seems, but of course, you only know that after the fact. Now, the other side might have their Mars in, excuse me, oh, okay, there you go. Mars in Aries, or Mars in the first house. But their Venus in Aquarius or in the 11th house. This other side. It could also be that their Venus is in our 11th house. You need to know your rising for that. Because we're going from this delayed message that opens up a crossroads to deciding to protect this exalted status or this sacred positioning. Because it does bring in some type of severity. There's something very precious to take care of here. Dare maritata la fortuna. It's love, l'amore. And there's more to grow. So we're at a crossroads right now, Page of Swords, Two of Wands, where we need to have judgment over this victory, this triumph. We have a sacred spot to protect at all costs, really. And that's actually true, quite true, is what I would call it. Um, okay, I made a mistake. What that was. But we need to have discernment over working on this. It's not just discernment. We need to know what it is that we're working on and working towards. And it's here in the energy, but it's not spoken. So we're going to have to get really clear on some things, or we're going to lose this. Because there's something to click into place, and we don't know it yet, but even though it seems like a karmic relationship, it was catalytic because it brought our fears to the surface. And if we had done the work and faced our fears, this would have converted to some type of longer term connection. It never had to stay karmic or be karmic for too long. But it's karmic because the lesson wasn't learned. And if it comes back for review, world card, justice card, if it comes back for review, judgment card with the Three of Swords, and we haven't done the work, our paths could go apart because right now our paths are coming together. And there's been long-term delays and it still hasn't gone anywhere. So somebody needs to learn the lesson. The burden to carry is on the masculine side, the forbearance is on the feminine side. Regardless if that's the actual gender, that's just how the energy works. But we have a lot of corresponding energies. We have the Three of Swords, which is Saturn and Libra. And then we have the Libra card and the Saturn card. And then the Three of Swords also goes with the Aeon. A lot of the swords go with three different cards, and the Justice and the Aeon are two of those three cards, the other one being the Fool. Because the Three of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Swords, those all deal with parts of a trial, parts of a divine court session. And so this is saying that there's been some type of suspension, pre-revocation here. Three of Swords. Something has not gone any further because there's some pretty stern, strict stipulations. And somebody here knows what they are with the not King of Swords present. The Justice card says that, okay, now we're deliberating, and the Judgment card says there will be a ruling. We will execute and impose our judgment, whether it's redemption, salvation, or whether it's curse or damnation or reassignment. So let's check on this Three of Swords with the Justice card that talks about Saturn being in Libra. It's the Libra aspect. Yeah, there's something here in our hands to steward, to take care of. And on the other side, they're being contrivial, meaning their feigned enjoyment, that there's deeper that they could go if only they were willing to be authentic, genuine, sincere. And it's not that they aren't, but they may be trying to keep the peace, because this is already something pretty sweet. However, there could be a lot more, and this a lot more could be some type of union, the King and Queen of Pentacles. So we could be in a long-term committed relationship, if only. We have this preciosa the precious presence. So we're at the heart of the matter here. The heart of the matter has been coming up. We need to open up the heart and be vulnerable in a way where there may be great risk, but also great reward. This is a lot, man. I'm overwhelmed here. Okay, so somebody here has discovered that we have a great big opportunity, and there needs to be talk about doing things in secret. Because it's time for a reunion or coming back together, a reconciliation. Rayoni here. Yeah, and what the thing that either party is missing is that their beloved is right in front of them. This is us here. Our beloved is right here with us, and we're doing something, trying to protect our heart. So this is shucking and jiving, bobbing and weaving, massaging and assuaging the truth to hide the facts and protect our feelings. For what? To miss the chance of a lifetime? So this is actually pretty significant, but it's going to come after searching or figuring things out or something like that. So there's one more thing here. We need to do this Three of Swords with the World card. The thing that is missing is finally here. And there's been several times where the opportunity has been missed, but it's right here again. It hasn't gone anywhere really. But we need to be clear about what we're trying to work on, and it's time to make a decision, or we're going to get the opportunity to make a decision. Again, I missed it. The Three of Swords with the Judgment. Yeah, again, a conversation, or it's going to be decided for us. It will turn around quickly. It's not going to be there forever. Because one person wants something so bad that they're going to manifest it elsewhere, but it's supposed to be between us. So this is what we call unclaimed or unchecked desire, unspoken desire, unclaimed union. Because Moon Lovers card, we're in the dark about love, and then you have Judgment Lovers card, standing up and protecting love. And then we have a pair of sixes here, and a pair of eight. I'm hearing that song, my guilty pleasure, I ain't going nowhere. Baby, as long as you're here, I will be floating on air, cause you're mine. What is that? Is you a sweet dream? Is that Beyonce or Destiny's Child? Oh, a beautiful nightmare. I don't actually know the lyrics. I know that tattoo your name across my heart. Okay, Ten of Wands, I mean, Ten of Swords, Dieci di Spade is a cancellation. Remember, I said Three of Swords is a revocation. Three of Swords is a suspension, Five of Swords is a revocation, and Ten of Swords is a cancellation. Now, it doesn't always mean that. It means some type of ego collapse. It could also mean a revelation that's like some type of enlightenment. Sometimes after a breakdown is a breakthrough. So let's look at the court. Yeah, this is being granted access finally. Now for the double six. Now we're going to do the pair of eights. So in this one reading with 11 cards, we have a pair of nines, a pair of sixes, and a pair of eights. And 4 cards popped out. Uh-oh, blind spot spread. Yeah, so delayed message that there's a reunion and reconciliation here because we've both been wounded. Cause you're mine, oh, a beautiful nightmare. Baby, I don't wanna wake up from you. Yeah, we're both at an impasse here. Five of Swords. It's a lose-lose situation for the both of us because we're being short-sighted. But of course, we wouldn't know that because the secret is so powerful that it would need to be guarded with the utmost. But we've gone to a place where now it's time to be vulnerable and to share, to open up and to confess. So, what is this protecting of? Okay. So, if we're getting our intuition is trying to tell us to take a risk, take a leap here. And we might be ignoring the intuition. Either way, I don't want to win. Okay, so that keeps leaving my mind. So maybe we're getting messages in dreams. Surround myself in all of your flaws, but you're my temporary high. So we have 3 spades, pique, 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 which means like it's the spades in the playing cards. So, but then we have it's all black. This whole hand is black, meaning we have clubs and spades here. So Six of Swords is receiving grace. Six of Cups is receiving anointing. We have the goddess vectoring here, and something is coming into our energy. So there's been this lunar thing with the moon, some type of projection, spiritual manipulation, projection, spell work. Because our side, if we're the feminine, but this other side, if we're not, they get some type of call out that's not that surprising, but it does change things, stir things quite deeply. And then deepest souls need calling out when the moon and the judgment card come together. Standing up for love. No, this is being in the dark about love. What are we in the dark about? Whenever you go away, you take a piece of me with you. So this we may be on this person's thoughts. They may be ruminating, oscillating, vacillating, marinating in hate, ruminating in venom, or longing, yearning. Because now we have a Five of Pentacles. They don't like being separated. And that's it. This wheel is about to roll backwards, or if we've been left out in the cold, it's about to start finally moving. Could we have transmuting something here when maybe we were bound in some kind of way. Because there's also reconciliation, Six of Cups, and reunion, Three of Cups, with the Lovers card to clarify. So there's new love around the corner. New love. La Matrice, she's secretive about her love, but this means new. Bambino means new. Something that's brand new. Well, Costanza, yeah, there's something here very precious, but it's been around for a long time. Precioso di presente here. And then with Vidova, it's been around for a long time and we're being secretive about it. Wherever you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Okay, so there's just something really kinky here. I've been getting it the whole time, and it feels strange because this is a general reading, and that's too much to talk about to be honest. But I am getting that very much. I believe that this is a person that likes to be submissive to women or submissive to female energy, or that they something of that nature. That they find their strength in being of service, and sometimes that's a form of submission. I'm going to leave that right there. Um, I grew up in a swingers household. I'm very familiar with the kink community, but that's too much information. You hear what I'm saying? So I'll leave it right there. But I'm catching dynamics that I know very well. Not personally, not all of this is my own thing, but um, I'm seeing some things. Okay, I'm seeing the thing. Okay, and it started out from the jump that way too. I felt it right as the gate opened. There's something coming back towards us to make a final approach. And we need to be very clear that the gate is open, or we need to be open about who we are and what we're looking for. And it should manifest or it should disintegrate because the heavens have kind of smiled on this and they've taken a second review and pushed a little energy to make this work. Otherwise, the contract's going to fall apart. It's not really going to be forfeit because it hasn't been an infraction. It's going to be a failed mission. So that's awful, really. Oh, and we have a pair of threes again. We have a triple three now. So click Covenants Cabals or a third party's gonna come in. Uh-oh. Could this other side that we're dealing with, they're of an opposing mind. They're now confused finally. Hmm. Yeah, inner turmoil. Doubting and questioning decisions, fight between mind and heart, feeling worried and conflicted, agitated, unhappy with life's choices. I am bounded physically, mentally, and spiritually. I feel there's no way out from where I am. I feel imprisoned because of my own doing. I'm trying to fight my inner demons, but it's just so difficult at times. This is on the grounds of attached sentimentality and small offerings. So they can't offer us much, but they don't want to go away completely because now they're becoming activated, maturing, healing, awakening. And attached doesn't always mean to another person. They could have too many responsibilities or they could be afraid. So it's another word of saying bound. But it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. This was a message about a karmic situation that we're in that quickly started to resolve the karma. However, it said that we were stuck in a dark place or dealing with the devil that we know because there was falsities, ignorance, fear, or illusion. It also came out that there's something that needs to be shared so that this can come together, but it's a hit or miss. Some of us will come together, some of us won't, and that we're running the risk of a third party coming in, and that would be the forfeiture, because this was either going to be an unsuccessful mission, a successful mission if we came back together, but we would have had to be vulnerable and give truth. And it was a very deep, profound truth that would have also been a little bit risky to share. And then also, if a third party comes in, the relationship becomes forfeit. But also, if a third party does not come in and we don't come back together, it's considered an unsuccessful mission. Like a mission was assigned, a secret mission was assigned, a spiritual mission, a spiritual assignment, and we didn't complete it. So until we meet again, until we read again, Namaste, Dandavana, Ashe, Sayonara, that's Vedanya, Vidazane. Just a quick prayer for all those who lost their illusion, confusion, delusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional love and universal oneness. Honoponopono, we love you, we're sorry, please forgive us, thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this life. May you be happy, may you be whole, may you be well, may you be at peace, may you receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. Go ahead and smash that like button, and we'll see you in the next one. Take good care, okay? Bye-bye.